Yo, what's up? We're back. I'm back. It's the Black Raspberry Radio Podcast Show. It's been a long time since I met you. That was something that the God Rakim would have said. How are you people doing? And today's date is 5/16/2023. And I'm going to jump straight into it because I would have had a guest here, but I couldn't find no guest. And sometimes I just don't like coming up on this show to be by myself. I always like to feed off somebody. But, you know, today we're going to act like it's CNN today. And I got a monitor behind these lights and this mic. But no, it's coming off the head with my little bit of notes that I have here. I want to jump straight into the Marine that killed the Negro on the train. / mental illness, because if you in New York City, and I could vouch everywhere, all the metropolis, everywhere, suburbia, urban, whatever, there is a mental illness problem that's going on in the United States, and it's not always fueled by drugs. It could just be fueled by chemical imbalance, or you could just go crazy for losing money, like Franklin did, because I love Snowfall. And you can have a chemical imbalance in your body where you're going crazy. But in New York City, it's a pro and con to this. In New York City, there be a lot of mentally ill people on the train. And sometimes they can be intimidating. Let's not front New York City. Let's not front Black America. We in the mental illness realm. Boy was doing something that ticked that Marine off, and that Marine grabbed him, or that Marine felt like something was going to happen. That's why he grabbed him and put him in that sleeper hole the way that he did. Allegedly. Because you didn't see all the video. Whatever with the witnesses that's there, you know, I guess they'll bring them to the grand jury. And I don't know whether they'd be in favor of the Marine or favor against. The favor of, he played hero. Because they said that the gentleman was acting erratic. Once you put him in that sleeper hole, we all watch WWE. I'm from the Greg Valentine, Hulk Hogan, Rowdy Piper, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes era. When that sleeper hole goes on, and I have seen people in the hood got put to sleep and they fell right there. You didn't stay down on them and choke them out. Did dude try to attack you? Because from what I understand, New York don't really have a stand your ground law. If you can get up out the situation, you get out the situation, or you better have a good Johnny Cochran lawyer to present to that grand jury not to indict that you defended yourself, but you put him in a sleeper hole, so that means that you snuck up on him and put him to sleep. Was he a threat to you? It's all going to depend on how the way the district attorney presents their evidence to the grand jury. Brother, how many people at the grand jury? 24, 25, 23? It's higher than 12, because that's how the way the state of New York, because believe it or not, every state of the union, as they say, does not have a grand jury. They go straight to pretrial, because I've been looking at the first 48. They go straight to pretrial. They ain't no goddamn grand jury. But it's like, are you in favor of him, I guess, defending people? Because sometimes I be on the train, and sometimes I want to choke a person out. But if you know you're a Marine, you're trained to put people to sleep, and you know when he's down. You didn't have to go to the extreme to choke him out like that he died. But this is the crazy shit. This is the crazy thing. Excuse my French. I think this gentleman, this Marine, this white American has almost $2 million in legal fees at a GoFundMe page to pay for his legal fees. Kid Rock even donated money to him. Catch 22. If Lorenzo defends himself in Brownsville and he chokes someone out, Will it stand? Not if it will it stand. Will y'all give me $2 million for lawyers' fees, or I got to get that chump-ass legal aid? And I'm going to say something about the legal aid people, what makes them chumps. They do not defend the Constitution the way that they're supposed to. I don't give a damn how high your caseload is. You hold an oath to defend everybody and not tell them to cop out. Just cop one out. But not hold that oath to defend their clients against the constitutions, the blacks and the Puerto Ricans and, the minority race. Y'all don't give full legal representation correctly. Y'all just don't. It's just like fair. Between that, I'm going to jump to doctors. Like something came up. Somebody had said something about Seiko. May he rest in peace. And I didn't want to go at his funeral because his brother had came up. He said, you want to say something? I said, I'm not going to go up in Seiko's funeral and change the narrative. He said, you want to say anything? It's like, no, I already wrote the obituary. My words was already spoken. My cousin Pookie, she read them. But I wanted to get up there and say to the clergy and to all you people that meet at these community boards, could you please tell the city of New York and the borough president or to whomever, you know that Brownsville, East New York, and certain parts of Flatbush are a war zone. Could you please have adequate doctors there, please? Seiko got shot 5 blocks away from Brookdale Hospital. Could you please tell me why did you take him to Kings County Hospital? The plaza's on Mother Gaston. Kings County, downstate, is at least 4 miles away. All the way in Flatbush, deep Flatbush at that. Past Utica Avenue. But you know that Brownsville is a war zone. So that's another bunch of people that do not hold the oath to save life. You just don't. Let me get out of that right there. I'm sorry, people, if I kind of screamed a little bit, but I just had to get that off my mind. Lawyers and doctors and bad food. I've come to notice that when I buy my food at Whole Foods, it's fresh. When I buy my strawberries in Brownsville, they spoil you, and then you're trying to sling it to me 2 for $5 like it's crack back in the days, and it's all spoiled. Bad food, bad legal representation, and bad doctors. Now, what else is bad? I go to the way we killing each other still, wiping each other out while everybody new is moving in. Now, it's crazy in Brownsville that you got all these new people moving in, whether they're black, white, or green. What about the ones that's here? Let them kill themselves. And we're doing that. Well, I'm going to jump to something else. I got a call from my relatives over on the other side of Brownsville, and my cousin is up for parole in the state of Tennessee, which they kind of overcharged him because he's from New York City. We ain't gonna have you city slickers come down here and commit crime. I just want to read this letter to you that I wrote. My name is Lorenzo Andrews, and I am a family friend to Bashar Murchison. I have known him all my life. His mother and my mother are childhood friends from the 1950s. I asked Tennessee Board of Parole, please release Mr. Murchison, for he can become a productive member of society and right his wrongs. I can honestly say before his incarceration, he actually was a productive member of society. He would always be in my ear about being a screenwriter, writing books, and pushing me to do a movie for he could sell it in his store. He is the one family member that always supported this dream of mine. I do not really know the nature of his crime, and I don't know where he strayed away, but I know that he's a good human being. Please give him another chance, for he could come home and be a grandfather, a father, a family member, and most of all, a friend to the people that need him. When reaching age 50, it is time to lead a straight path to life. In other words, there's not that much time left. So I hope that the fat man that has never picked up a fucking gun, in which you Negroes in Brownsville, y'all seem to love that. Y'all love that. What work he put in. That a person like me don't get that same kind of respect like those. And I'm not knocking nobody, because if you come up in my era, you had the slang. Who wanted to get paid $5 an hour while the rich was getting rich? We talking Michael Milken rich, Clive Davis rich. The rich was rich. The 1970s, the 1980s, the 1990s. I'm just glad that the people in McDonald's went and protest. They said that we need a livable wage, $15 an hour. Now $15 don't mean nothing, because 4 chicken wings and french fries is $8.75. Wow, how inflation has changed things. I'm going to jump to Coogee Rap right quick, but I'm going to talk about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is trying to make that comeback. Do I like Joe Biden? No, I don't. I still go back. You know, everybody can change their opinions and their views. But your crime bill kind of slayed a lot of people, where it filtered all the way down from the fed to the state, down to the city, your counties. If you want to be funded by the federal government, you have to uphold this law. Giuliani was with it because he was a U.S. district attorney at one time. So that's where stop and frisk and things like that really got on steroids. Because stop and frisk always been. Before Giuliani got into office, I remember still getting stopped and frisked. But thank God to the person that filed the motion, and the federal judge said, yo, you can't do that. And I haven't been stopped and frisked since 2011. That's the last time I got stopped and frisked. But a lot of the youngins went out there killing themselves, start shooting, because if you ain't stopping and frisking me, I got ample time to get over there and bust this 9 off and, you know, commit a crime. But Donald Trump, I kind of swayed off. Donald Trump is trying to come back and run again. And I don't really see, you know, I mean, him having sex, maybe him not calming that crowd down, going to the Capitol, yeah. Him with the porn star, no. I don't like that he got charged in this civil thing for $5 million on something that happened 30 years ago. What happened to the statutes of limitation? See, y'all pointing and laughing at it to you people out there, but when it happens to you, then it's a problem. You know, 30 years ago, you waited 30 years ago to say that he raped you in a Bloomingdale or one of those rich stores on Fifth Avenue. You waited this long to do that, to file a charge. But I'm always going to have a sincere love for Donald Trump because of the Mike Tyson come up. I'm done with that. You know, it's crazy. I wrote something down on my paper, and for some reason, it's always Puff Daddy and Suge Knight. These guys that I used to send when I got kicked out of Brownsville. My mother told me I had to leave because I wanted to be a crack dealer, and the house got shot in. I'm out in the street homeless, but I used to always go to the library, and I would always write Puff, which his office was down here on 19th Street between 5th Avenue and 6th. And send Suge Knight a letter over there in Wilshire. And we're talking about when Hit 'Em Up was out. And it's like, oh man, I really wanted a job. But I guess God have his way of working things out, saying, Lorenzo, that's not for you. I used to always kind of joke around with Sick, may he rest in peace, about whose city is this? Is this Jay-Z city or this Puff city? I don't know about y'all personal things that y'all have with y'all. I'm talking about your contributions to music. And I was looking at Kanye West talk about Puff. And he said the one thing with Puff just got this bop. Puff just got this bop, meaning how the way he moved, the way he danced. Puff no hits, man. I love that nigga. I love Puff. What was one of the albums that... No, before I get to Cool G Rap, August 3rd, I got it written on this paper. August 3rd, 1995, I would never forget. I was a messenger. I was down there at the Source Awards. And the Source Awards was in the theater because they keep changing that damn name. That's that entrance on, this is 34th, 33rd, and 6th Avenue. Right there on the side where the train station is at. And Puff comes through the door and said, yo, if anybody from Brooklyn want to get in, you can get in. When Biggie Smalls won that award, you see all them Brooklyn people that's on that stage. Either it's when he won the award or when he was doing One More Chance on that stage. You see a lot of Brooklyn people right before he performed. Puff came outside, said, if you from Brooklyn, come on in. All right, let me leave them alone now. Cool G Rap. I've been wanting to say this for a long time, which I don't appreciate Hove. I don't appreciate some of you rappers that's been big through the late 90s, the 2000s, not putting G Rap on a song other than Mobb Deep and M.O.P. They're the only ones that really did it. That goes for Ghost Ray. That goes for everybody. Because if you was out there pitching and you got all those drug dealer stories, if you was not playing Cool G Rap's Road to the Riches, you a fucking liar. You're a liar. You're a liar. You cannot be pitching crack. You cannot be selling dope. You cannot be scamming. 89. You are listening to Cool G Rap's Road to the Riches. But what I want to say is Cool G Rap's 456 album. This album came out about 95, 96. And at this time, Cool G Rap's 456 is being drowned out by the King of New York, Biggie Smalls, Method Man and the Wu-Tang Clan. Nas is out. And the Fuji La is out, which the Fuji La was selling more than everybody. And I'm talking about at the height of Biggie Smalls and Tupac. The Score is out. The Score outsold everybody. Even was outselling Tupac's double CD. Let's not get it fucked up. But Cool G Rap's 456 album, it's a shame. It's a lot of good songs and it got overlooked. Please, people, Spotify it. YouTube it, whatever how the way you streaming it, just put it on while you cleaning up. To you people that's around my age, you youngins, I don't really think that y'all gonna get into it, and I'm not even projecting this information towards y'all. 45 and over crowd, please listen to Cool G Rap's 456. Again, this is at the time when Nas, Biggie, Tupac, Death Row, all of them is out. And Cold Chillin' had to take the album over to Epic because Cold Chillin' caught the horrible wave of when Death Row left Time Warner. Because Cold Chillin' was on Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is owned by Time Warner. So they wanted to drop all their gangster rap acts. Cool G Rap went over to Epic and they dropped the ball. Cool G Rap, you are definitely a great lyricist. You definitely told the New York City story of the streets. And again, it's a shame how I had Jay-Z, and I love you, Jay-Z, because you the God MC. You're still a God MC, but I'm a young G Rap in his prime. You said that. What would have been more better than to have G Rap on a song? Or what maybe some personal drug dealer beef. I got beef with this person and he got beef with that person and we couldn't work. That was something that was supposed to happen. You too, Biggie Smalls. Snowaway in hell. Maybe not ready to die, but life after death. Come on now. Because what's crazy is I had came across something on the YouTube and Somebody did the verse. I don't know if it's the Big Daddy Kane. Yeah, it's the Big Daddy Kane KRS One. And Puff Daddy said he was waiting for G-Rap to come on and do the symphony part. You know what I'm saying? Like that verse, because Big Daddy Kane comes in right behind him on that symphony. Shout out to fucking Marley Marl. I think like I said, I'm gonna jump back to this mental illness thing. I'm sorry, y'all. America, y'all still hate us. It's something to me that y'all hate the black American. Y'all hate him. Y'all hate us. And maybe that man shouldn't even be charged with manslaughter, but you need to push up the murder. But you don't want to mess up the charge because you got to follow and convict in the grounds of the law. But I can get your ass on that involuntary manslaughter. And, you know, they say he's a devoted Marine. We need to do something about this mental illness, y'all, before it gets out of hand. And you need to start it when human beings are children, so they don't grow into this. But how do you really help mental illness? Like I said, it can go from a chemical imbalance in your head. It can go from depression. It can go from drug induced, or it can go again. Franklin losing $70 million. Brother, Mav, do you watch Snowfall?
I don't, but I watched the last episode.
The last episode. Let me tell y'all.
Crazy.
The way that he starts cursing at his mother because he's mad. I watched it like 4 times, man. I kind of related to it. And kind of cried, you know, not boo-hoo cry, but the tears just coming down my eyes like, wow, going through the same things with my mother in that realm. Not her blowing up $70 million and shit like that, no, but it's, oh man, it's Franklin going crazy from helping everybody. And when it was time for them to help him, it's like, other than Leon, because I'm going to get to Leon. In that ending scene, when Leon goes to find Franklin, because even his chick stole all the money, because she got kind of mad at him because he got so possessed with this money, because it's crazy. Back in them days, and I don't want to jump, but I'm jumping anyway. A lot of drug dealers lost their monies when they was pushing their money into Panama and Costa Rica, because those countries became nationalized. If you watch Blow with Johnny Depp, Scarface, they snatch your, it's our money now. The government, when they seize it, all that capitalist shit, it's our money now. It would drive a person crazy. But Franklin and Leon, when they left the house and came back to the house and they seen the city marshals there, and Franklin said, you know what? I just want to be free. You see how mentally ill that he was, but let's just say if they was to continue that story, him letting go everything, he's at peace. But I'm going to say this. I want to give a shout out to the writers, the producers of Snowfall, because at that very end, when Leon and Franklin is walking to that store, what did you see? It's John Singleton shooting Boys in the Hood. And that is something that comes so full circle. God bless them for doing that, because Snowfall, as I understand, is peoples that John Singleton knew, and Franklin is Freeway Ricky Ross. Which Freeway wanted to sue John Singleton like, yo, you just took my damn story. But shout out to them for doing that. Rest in peace, John Singleton. Boys in the Hood. Snowfall. Snowfall is excellent show.
How did you in Snowfall? How did you feel about? Didn't the mother go from being part of it to like being like Black Pantherish at the end?
Right. That's like, and I'm gonna throw this back. That's like when DMX comes in to kill the minister, and the minister gives DMX that speech. And it's crazy that I'm saying that because I'm trying, and I've said this before, trying to get into the film thing. And sometimes when you get that shot, you gotta take that shot. And Hype Williams says that no, DMX was supposed to kill the minister. He said, but DMX started crying from listening to the words of the minister. And that's a take. But I guess that she's like, look at the destruction that I'm doing. I mean, yeah, we got this halfway house, and this halfway house is being funded by Franklin's money, but it's Franklin putting these motherfuckers in the halfway house. And plus, she loved her husband. And at that end, tell me where he's at. So, are you fucking serious? CIA guy, that guy that played the CIA, I can't think of his name off the rip. That gentleman played a hell of a CIA agent. And to all of us that are 45 and over, 50 and over, 55 and over, if you know anybody that was getting that white for cheap, the chances are they was getting it from the CIA. Whether it was in Brownsville, whether it was in Compton, whether it was in Williamsburg, whether it was in Bushwick, whether it was in Harlem. The chances are you was getting it from a government op. Because motherfuckers was rich. 1980 fucking 283. I'm a child, seen it. Everybody is poor, boy. You got the Nissan. Remember when the Nissans came? The Maximas came. The boxes, the box shapes and big rope chains. The Chinese restaurant was still getting money then too. It was a lot of money that just came out of nowhere. We at Reaganomics where the rich is getting rich and the poor is getting poor, like Nino Brown said. Do y'all pay attention to these damn movies? Or y'all just sit there and just watch them? And not take what's being said and put all this shit together. The CIA was funding a war in the middle of Central America, Sandinistas, Contras, Nicaragua, whatever. They said that the communists are getting too close to capitalism. I gotta get that on my shirt and put crack cocaine. And I'm surprised that you people that did Snowfall, y'all could have had a general. Y'all could have had somebody there. And they said that he was an honorable man, and they said that when they said that every phone call is recorded. When the vice president speaks and the other president speaks, if the vice president was supposed to speak, he gonna use somebody else's phone and still get the fucking call. I'm not in the vice president's room taking this call. It was one time when an airplane crashed and they found the air pilot with George Bush's direct fucking number. 300 fucking 400, 500, 700, 10,000 kilos in a fucking airplane. Kind of almost wiped us out, but the Negro still prevails. He still prevails. Where we at in time, man?
10 more minutes left.
Okay, brother. Excuse me for speaking so, I just had to get these things out. I had told Mav, like, what direction do I want the Black Raspberry show? And shout out to Nakia Raspberry. Without Nakia Raspberry, Black Raspberry, it wouldn't be where this ideal of this show would have been. Shout out to Seiko, because I remember Seiko. I'm going to shout my man out again because he is the one that said, yo, let's do a podcast show in 2018. And after we fell out a little bit, I said, yo, we were supposed to have been like Gilly the Kid. We supposed to have been getting paid at this shit if we would have kept on going. So The direction that I want to go with the Black Raspberry show is what Holloway Al Sharpton does his show on BLS, where it's a political format, but you're also playing that good R&B, because I'm not, and maybe slide some G-rap in the streets of New York, because it's poetic. Could you imagine you're playing G-rap and you follow through with fucking Curtis Mayfield off the Superfly soundtrack? Little Child. I could play In the Streets of New York and play Little Child to come right behind that. That good music, but it's this new screenplay that I'm working on. No, wait, I'm jumping. I want my show to be political with an R&B music format, and also talk about those songs coming out of the late 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, just that format. That's the format that I want to do. But if I'm starting a show, a slow jam show, you remember in New York City when we was kids, we'd go get our tape decks and record the slow jams. And I can even go even further back, a couple of years prior to 89, 90, 81, 82, when rap was only played at 3 in the fucking morning. My sisters got me by 7, 8 years. I got 2 older sisters. 7, 8 years they older than me. But that 90s quiet storm, WBLS and Kiss FM would play slow jams at night. When it get 10 o'clock at night, it was the slow jam popping off, and you're making babies. You're either making babies or you're crying from a breakup because they playing your song. If I had 3 songs to start my quiet storm, I will go with Tony Terry's Head Over Hill, Johnny Gill's Lady du Jour, and After Seven's Ready or Not. 1990 was a year where there was a change that came. It's like Teddy Riley, he came with the New Jack Swing 88, 89 with Bobby Brown and Keith Sweat. But about like 1990, everybody was getting on board with their sound, especially Babyface. Babyface was getting it on with his sound that he did, you know what I'm saying? The songs that he was producing. So, just good music. Music, just, I don't hear the R&B. Like, my ear is not with the R&B how the way it is now. I like it. I respect it. The only thing I can do is respect it. But the difference between now and you go back to, let's say, 90s then, and then you jump back another 20 years to the 1970s. Let's go from 91 to 71. 91 and 71 and 91 is a lot. But 91 to 2021 is not. Because I don't think that the younger crowd, y'all don't reach back. Y'all don't reach back to the elder sound. I've been hearing some hip hop samples. I've been hearing some sampling going on. But y'all just not, top five artists from the 1970s. James Brown, Curtis Mayfield, Marvin Gaye. James Brown, Curtis Mayfield, Marvin Gaye, Al Green. Might go with, who would be the 5th one? I really can't throw a 5. I'll go Teddy Pendergrass, which Teddy Pendergrass came kind of down the line, but I like James Brown, Curtis Mayfield, Al Green, Marvin Gaye, Isaac Hayes. That's who I want to see. Isaac Hayes, Black Moses. I like them. I love them. I love their music because a lot of their music helped create the 1980s and the 1990s hip hop sound until these conglomerates came in here and kind of snatched up all the publishing, and you made it hard to sample music. And sometimes music needs to be sampled to create. I see that they tried to get at this gentleman for, they thought that he was that he was using one of Marvin Gaye's song, and it just was a beat of a drum. Like, Do I have to pay James Brown all the money all the time because of how the way that drum goes? They put those drums inside the beat machines. These beat creators that, these patterns, these beat patterns. What else I wanted to say? Brownsville. I don't know how. Where do you see Brownsville in the next 10 years? I guess Brownsville in the next 10 years would be like a Williamsburg. I guess that's where it's going. It's going to go. It's going to go that way. The gentrification thing is happening. They're building every block. Every block has just about new buildings. And then the city of New York, they start complaining about that there's a rat problem. Like, it's a rat problem. How is it that we have a rat problem when y'all building on places where these rats once lived at? Like, what are you going to do? And I was taking out my garbage a couple of months ago, and a rat jumped on my chest. I mean, jumped from the bag and jumped on my chest where I just moved it. I just moved the rat from nearly like biting me in my damn face. I've been watching Vlad, and I'm gonna jump to global warming. Like the Biggie Smalls, Tupac stories. It's like you just keep getting them, and people are just so excited to hear them and hearing all the different angles about their death and how the way they died and who did this and who did that. And all I can say, that story is going to keep going on. Global warming. There's a problem with people having allergies. And it's because the earth is not getting cold when it's supposed to get cold. It's staying warm. It practically did not really get cold. We only had like a snow dusting. I mean, like that's crazy just to have that. A snow dusting. So we're gonna wrap this up. I'm glad that you attended. I'm glad that you watched. If I was kind of jumping from subject to subject, I just jumped from subject to subject, but it's a subject where you could relate to everything that I'm talking about. So peace out, people. I'll see you next week. Lord willing, universe willing, Black Raspberry will be here on the show with me next week. Yeah, peace out, y'all.